Alrighty guys, I'm back. Sorry, that took a little bit longer. I was very hungry. But we are good. The gamers have already started. We'll do all the chitty chat soon. We'll do the intros quickly. Take it from there. BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 90. 90 Fridays in a row. We have been here. Well, slightly different rooms in the house, but always this house. Very often this living room. Sometimes a different spot in the living room. And let's do it. Should be fun. A TVP main event. The winner gets 150 bucks. The loser gets 50. Top left side. It is our Russian Terran player who asked me, when do I ever get to play in the main event? Why do some other people get main event? Why not me? I was like, well, that just kind of has to do with timing, mate. I know you're good enough. And this week, I decided to finally give him what he wanted. And that is the main event of the evening. This is Nicoract. A very fun, exciting, explosive, fast Terran player. Bottom right side, this man has some big things in the works that I can't really say too much about, but he is very excited over a couple of things that are coming in Starcraft 2. But he also said, by the way, outside of all of this, I would really like to play in the Big Brain Bouts again. I said, mate, if you want to play, I'll get you to play. He doesn't have the best track record in the BBB. He's had a couple of unfortunate series, but he's obviously one of the best Protoss players in Europe. It is Gerald. Alright, that was a very long sentence after devouring a spicy McChicken and half a cheeseburger. I definitely ate my burgers. I'm good to go. I even got myself some water because I felt that my mouth was feeling weird. I hope it's a fun series, guys. Tonight has definitely not been a bad night, but we didn't have too many like epic games. I hope the best game of the evening is still to come. And Nicoract definitely has a track record that screams exciting, cool, epic, special TVPs. Let's hope he has it tonight. And obviously he knows that he's the underdog on paper. He is the less accomplished player. He has less experience in big matches. I do really believe that if he brings his A+ game, that he's got the skills. Maybe not to win it, but to at least make it very, very difficult on Gerald. If he's at his absolute best, why can't he win it? Yeah, I'm a big spicy McChicken guy, Mr. Takua. When I was young, it was always a Big Mac. Eventually, it became the McRib, but then I lost my passion for the McRib. And then for a few years, I was a regular McChicken guy. And then McDonald's introduced the spicy McChicken. And that's just my default go-to right now. If I ever go to McDonald's, it will always be spicy McChicken. Maybe like once or twice a year, I'll sneak in a Big Mac, but why go Big Mac when you can have spicy McChicken? What about Burger King? Then I'm just a Whopper guy. I've tried their chicken sandwich a few times, but I don't love it as much. So if I end up at a Burger King, sometimes at Schiphol Airport, they have a nice Burger King. They've got a couple actually. Then I end up with a Whopper. No, I mean the nuggets are more like an extra if I'm very hungry. It's a triple winner mine drop to kick the series off. That is a good shot, by the way, on 3 probes that were all clumped up at the gas. He gets 3 more in the end. I mean, it's okay, but the fact that we can't pick any of the mines up, that we cannot come back for round 2. He F2'd the medevac over the Stalkers as well. Yeah. I mean, normally, if you ask me, Roddy, 5 minutes, 10 seconds into the game, Terran has even, if not more, SCVs than the Protoss. Is that good? Yeah, of course. That's really good for the Terran. But they've also lost all potential to slow the Protoss down in the next minute and a half. And then I think Protoss can recover rather quickly. Gerald has always been a very strong defensive player. He is not gonna go crazy on a million Stalkers and a million Zealots trying to multitask in 17 different places. No. It's about tacking up, getting a very strong defensive setup and taking the game from there. I'm a little bit worried for Nicoract that it's going to be very hard for him to find damage in the future. Stalkers blink into the main. They will get one of the tech laps. Now, fortunately for Nicoract, it's combat shield, not stim. Losing stim is a lot worse than losing combat shield. It's still annoying though. Never heard of a place called Chick-fil-A or Popeyes? Of course, mate. I lived in America for 6 years. Do you think it would be possible for me to go without hearing about Chick-fil-A for 6 years over in California? I think that's actually impossible. No matter how hard you try. You may absolutely hate chicken or franchise places, but I think you'll always hear about it. I was not big on Chick-fil-A. I very, very rarely went, like maybe once or twice in my life. Popeyes I do like. Popeyes is very good. I think it's way better than KFC. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but in my eyes, Popeyes is way better than KFC. Not a whole lot that Nicoract can accomplish here in a straight up fight when there's 2 Colossus, a couple Zealots to keep the bio at bay, there's a Sentry in the mix for Force Fields or Guardian Shields. Nicoract is gonna have a window in the near future where he can start multitasking. Couple medevacs in the main and then all out assault at the 3rd or maybe the 4th if Gerald goes up to 4 bases sometime soon. Straight up fight, it's not gonna go Nicoract's way until he's got a bunch of Vikings. Popeyes over KFC is not even close to a hot take. Okay, I never know, mate. I never know what people love. Good defense, I think, here by Gerald overall. All 4 Widowmines have fired. The medevac goes down again. Nicoract is definitely a little bit careless with his Widowmine drops. And I know sometimes you need to be a bit reckless and just go in there and don't be afraid of it going wrong, but honestly, I think both of the medevacs could have been saved at least. Even if you can't save any of the mines, then save the medevacs. I don't think I've ever seen a Popeyes in Europe now. Popeyes is mostly from Louisiana, right? That proud Louisiana chicken. I did go to Louisiana one time. It was fun. They had a Starcraft event there. A Starcraft 2 tournament over in Louisiana at a car dealership. Destiny was there. What a fun time with Destiny. Marines and Marauders stim forward, gun down a couple of the Zealots. 3 out of the 4 go down. Gerald is making some progress with his main army in the center of the map. You guys have Popeyes, Sep? In Czech Republic? That's very random. We definitely don't have it in the Netherlands. I've never seen it here. Storm is very close to finishing up, but it's not quite ready yet. Maybe this is the sickest moment that Nicoract could ever find to force a fight. Forcing the force will make it hard for him to get that dream fight. There are some Zealots counterattacking. It is a fun little PvP so far here. Game 1 of the main event. These Zealots will get surrounded, will get picked off in the end. Good defense. Nicoract is showing us, guys, that he does belong. But he can't quite break Gerald. And Gerald, I recently saw a Reddit thread about how Gerald uses High Templars and Disruptors in such a good way. And he's one of the only Protoss. I don't think he's the only one. I think that guy maybe saw 1 or 2 great games of Gerald and he became a fan. Gerald is definitely not the only Protoss that believes in Disruptors and Storm at the same time. Because they do obviously fulfill very different roles in this matchup. And Nova from the low ground and a Storm to finish it off. Ay caramba. And that Reddit guy is watching. He's so happy right now. He's like, I knew it. Gerald's my guy. That was actually good. Isn't Hooters a strip club where they serve food? No, Hooters is not a strip club. That's very silly. That's not the same. Honestly, Hooters, you guys won't believe me, but Hooters actually has very good wings. I love a lot of their hot wings, man. You guys know that I love Buffalo Wild Wings, and I do prefer Buffalo Wild Wings over Hooters, but Hooters got some damn good wings. There's a couple of High Templars here. I don't know how high the ghost count is. We've got 3, but one of them gets feedback. It's very hard to land an EMP after you get feedback. You want Wingstop? When I was in Cali, mate, everybody was raving about Wingstop. And every time I mentioned Buffalo Wild Wings, everybody, oh my god, what a storm! What a storm, Nicoract! We're gonna have to step away from them storms, mate. I know there were Zealots attacking his third base as well. And somehow it's still an okay-ish fight. It's obviously not great. I cannot believe that. I mean, he's taking some severe losses now at the third. These storms were as good as they get. Felt like we were doing one of these custom maps just to see how much damage the storm could do to a bio army. Well, and the answer is yes. Conclusion, yes. AoE deals a lot of damage. Who could have thought? Damn. Okay, now we know. Nicoract is trying to flank those low HP Colossus with an even lower HP Marine Marauder Ghost Army. He's microing somewhat though here towards the end, but it's just a little bit too late. Streamer's own Gerald takes a pretty convincing 1-0 lead. The favorite coming into this main event. I think Nicoract didn't obviously play bad, even though we cannot stand in storms like that. We cannot get Nova from the low ground and not move our units. These are things that he has to step up a little bit. It's only the first game in this series, so no panic. But he's going to have to be a little more cautious with any form of harassment, whether that is a Raven or a Medevac, Withermind drop. You can't just fly in once, hope to deal damage, and that's it. No, there needs to be a second wave, third wave, Coco's second wave. Like, we need to show up a couple times, force the Protoss to pull those probes away. That's how you slow them down. Flying in, killing 6 probes, and that's it. Is not really a great way of slowing them down. Wingstop is overrated. Yeah, that's where I was gonna go, mate. When people were raving to me about it all the time, it's not that I thought it was bad, but I just didn't see in what universe it was better than Buffalo Wild Wings. They didn't have spicy garlic, and I love spicy garlic. But on top of that, what I really love about B-dubs is just the whole atmosphere. I think the color yellow sparks joy or something. I don't know, but whenever I'm there, I always feel good. It's very bright. The beers are nice and fresh, and then you can watch some sports. I just think it's a great experience. And Wingstop is often just such a grim little room. It's like, all right, here you go. Sit down, devour your wings, and get the F out of here. And it's like, well, it's not even that good. I just like Buffalo Wild Wings 10 times more. I think it truly varies per location, Meow. I've said this a million times on the Friday night, on the Monday night, and I'll die on this hill. I'm certain there are some Buffalo Wild Wings out there, some locations that are a bit mediocre. But it really just depends, I think, how much they care on making sure it's as good as humanly possible. And there are some really good ones out there. You'll make me happier with Buffalo Wild Wings than you make me with a very, very fancy dinner in an expensive place.
Round 2, fight!
Bottom left side of El Dorado. It's been a little while since we've had him on the Friday night, but this man is still motivated as ever. Even traveled to England recently to win another epic LAN. It is Streamer Zone for Jumi. Not for Jumi. Gerald for Jumi was in the chat. Jumi also won an epic LAN, and he's also on Streamer Zone. It becomes confusing. But obviously I mean Gerald. Yeah, that's you, Jimmy. You're just popping off too much. I'm always thinking of you. All these epic LAN champions of Streamer Zone. Just Gerald, guys. No for Jimmy. Bottom right side of El Dorado. We are looking at the main base of our Russian Terran. His first ever main event. He was excited. He was looking forward to it. And obviously he knows that it's going to be difficult. It will always be difficult in the main event. Platinum, Heroes, and Nicoract. Twin Peaks? Where is Twin Peaks, Bakuta? I've never heard of that. I don't want to say that I'm the ultimate Vegas expert, but I feel like I know Vegas pretty well. But I don't know Twin Peaks. Tell me where it is, and then I at least maybe have a vague idea if I've seen it, or if I don't think I've been there, because I would remember that. Never heard of it. Get the burgers. I've thought about it so many times, mate, but I always go with the wings. Most of the time it's nachos and then wings. And that explains this physique that you're looking at. Can't help it. I'm just a sucker for nachos, a beer, and some wings. Twin Peaks is all over the West Coast. It's a Hooters alternative. I have legit never been there. Sounds fun. I don't want to say it's the first time I ever hear about it, but I don't have any vivid memory of somebody telling me about it. Maybe if I Google it and I see the logo and I don't know, the atmosphere, the style, whatever, decorations, maybe it rings a bell, but I don't think I know it. It's because I'm a man of class. I don't know, mate. I just ate a spicy McChicken in the middle of a Starcraft 2 stream. between series number 3 and 4. I don't know if I'm really that much of a man of class. It looks like mountains, boobs. Okay, I don't know. I can take a look at my phone, but El Dorado is a map where the Terrans do like to be a little bit aggressive sometimes, and there is $150 on the line for the winner of this series. And I'm kind of rooting for Nicoract because he is the underdog and he's always available. I don't think he's ever said no. Whenever I ever reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to play in the Big Brain Bouts, I don't think he's ever said no. Even if he had any plans on the Friday night, I feel like he cancels them immediately and he's like, oh, I'm in. I hope he has a good showing tonight. First game wasn't bad, but if we want to beat Gerald, it just needs to get even better, right? It is that simple. 4 Stalkers and an Adapter trying to keep this Terran army at bay. The Cyclone Micro, I want to say, is quite solid. We have unloaded the tank too. It's almost a shame that the tank dropped out so late. Can we drop a Reaper Grenade? No. Can we keep the Cyclone alive? Also no, but we have killed 2 Stalkers. Medevac is damn low on HP though. And if we lose the Medevac, we lose high ground vision. But Gerald, his army supply is 6. The boys are here as well. The boys are going to repair the Medevac. That is great. Blink is close to finishing up, but Gerald has a 6 army supply. And now his battery is actually spending a lot of its energy too on healing a pylon that's gonna die anyway. Thank you, it's Dirty 007. 007 reminds me of the last game of Deadlock that Pi played, because his stats were 00 and 7. Actually 07 and 0. I digress. Gerald is trying to get a few more Stalkers. Can he eventually deal with this? With the bunker coming online as well, this is honestly becoming incredibly scary. Second tank is showing up. Nexus, the probes are going to be pulled. Nicoract will find damage. The only question is how much. Gerald makes a Roddy blink, gets one of the 2 tanks, but that's about it. Now I'm certain that this is not for Jimmy, guys, because I've never seen Jimmy make a blink like that. Jimmy would have had charge at this point, and a Warp Prism and a couple Zealots in the main base of Nicoract. GG! Nicoract ties things up. Great decisive play here on El Dorado. And he shows us that just because he's the underdog, that doesn't mean he can't swing and bang. Well done. Sub to keep the wings and nachos coming. I hope that I can enjoy some this year, mate. I don't think that will be much of an issue. I have at least 1 trip planned to America, but I hope to make it a few more. Strays. 7 assists, no kills. I've seen Pi have that as well. Pi can be a team player. Most of the time, Pi first tries to be the hero of a game of Deadlock. Dies a couple times. He's like, hey guys, I'm going to carry the urn. Look at me, I'm such a good team player. But once in a while, he actually goes 0, 0, and 7. And then he's legit like a really good team player. The stream is making me hungry. I'll stop. It's probably because I was very hungry. And I did delay this series starting for a tiny bit, but guys, it's only 2 minutes past 9. Today I'm happy that I went live a little bit earlier, so it wasn't 20 minutes of Starcraft and then Big Brain Bouts and then we were done. And I played for 2.5 hours of ladder for 2.5 hours, and then we got ready for these 4 best of 5s. Some weeks, guys, 4 best of 5s can take 6 hours. Sometimes we're done in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like it is what it is, right? You can't really predict these things.
Round 3. Fight!
The bottom left side of Hellscape, we are looking at the main base of Streamer Zone. Gerald did not have an answer for those Marines, tanks, Cyclone and Medevac that came to his side of the map. And absolutely love that this man brought the SCVs as well, because that made the difference. If that Medevac does not get repaired, then you lose high ground vision. If the bunkers don't go up, your opponent has a lot of time. Bringing the SCVs there is just a game-winning move. Sometimes StarCraft 2 is that simple. This is Platinum Heroes Nicoract. Guess the rank of the Paradox that lamed with you in the game that we lost? Ascendant 2? Yeah, there were a few things about the Paradox that looked very good, but then there were also some things that were a bit underwhelming. Shout out to Mindo for the raid. I am sorry, Bratan, that the series did not work out for you, but I hope you still had fun. That's all that matters. If we have a night behind the computer and we have a good time and we play some video games. Sure, winning is obviously what we all aim for. If you can't win, then at least have fun. That's Spy's motto in F1. And it lasted for at least 12 laps last weekend. Sunday 5 a.m. guys, I'll be racing on this channel with my friends. We're gonna do the entire Grand Prix of China. And I just hope that Pi makes it to lap 15. I'd be so proud of him. Might even be enough for a point or two. Is that so? No, I'm not going back to bed. I'm excited to wake up at 5 a.m. to play F1 with my Starcraft friends. Sure, 5 a.m. is a little early, but we'll manage. I think the goal is to wake up very early tomorrow morning, so I'm actually tired around like 10, 11. Then I can go to bed at a reasonable time. Saturday night. And then Sunday, 4:30 a.m. Beep, beep, beep. Alarm clock goes. I'll shower. I'll play some F1. Then I watch some F1. We're gonna have a great Sunday. I could invite Hero and Beyond to play F1 with me. Yeah, maybe if we say the winner of the race gets $100, they sign up. What if we just create a prize pool for the F1 events? We'll have all the Koreans on track. That'd be sick. If they want to play F1 with us, I can probably find a little prize pool. I'm not that bad in that regard, Kubels. And there were days for sure that I was like a proper gamer and I would stay up till 4 or 5, sometimes 6 or 7 a.m. I've done it many times in my life. But then I'm also a man of extremes where if there is one day that I have to wake up early, then suddenly I wake up early non-stop for 3 weeks straight. It's like, oh, you needed me Monday morning at 7 a.m.? Let me just wake up 7 more days in a row at 7 a.m. even though I really don't have to. And then there is only one way to snap out of that rhythm, and that's by having a few glasses of wine or a cheeky whiskey late at night, and then I can enter that very deep sleep and snap the streak or whatever streak I'm on. Oh, thank you, Mindo. That's very nice of you, mate. I hope you know that Baby Marine wants a rematch. And we can do it next week, but maybe 2 weeks from now. Mindel VK versus Baby Marine, the rematch. Baby Marine is very eager for that, and I'm looking forward to it too. We've got a medevac, guys, with 7 Marines of Nicoract heading towards the main base of Gerald. Gerald has gone for the standard 1-gate fast expand Twilight Council. I think all the viewers are very familiar with it. If you guys have any questions about any of the strats that are currently being used, obviously always feel free to ask me. Triple Heli and the Reaper dives into the natural while we've got that Marine drop heading towards the main base. It's cool to send it all the way over here to the bottom left. It's a big investment though, guys, by Nicoract. Now he's dealing a lot of indirect damage so far. Please do not lose this medevac. He doesn't. Okay. I've lost the Reapers and the Hellions. Not good enough so far for Nico. Nico needs more. He knows it. I believe that, dude, and I know that's a scientific fact. But what I have noticed in my life is that if I have a few too many, whether it's beers or whiskey or wine, that I can actually sleep forever. Like a proper 10, 12 hours sleep. Well, normally I sleep like 7 or 8 hours max. And there are some days where if I'm very tired and then I had a couple drinks that I can sleep for an incredibly long time. It may not be the best quality sleep because I know you can analyze that, right? There's different forms of sleep and there are days where you feel a lot better after 7 hours than you would feel after 9. But I can definitely fall into a pretty deep coma. Everything in full detail. I need to know how to be better at the Jim Raynor campaign. It's going well though, just got the Spectres. Unfortunately, mate, when it comes to campaigns, I'm pretty useless. I have only finished 1 of the 3 campaigns. I would recommend YouTube, and there are playthroughs for every single mission, I'm sure of that. But I'm not a campaign guy. I've always been a multiplayer guy. Nice hot pickup there on one of the Marines by Nicoract. Does end up losing 1 or 2 of them in the end. Gerald again with that pretty quick 4 gas opening. Loves this quick Colossus in this matchup. Nico is doing a good job though, making it to the other side of the map while not stimming and not losing too many units. One of the Marines gets picked up. Nico stims forward. Colossus 95% down, but 95 ain't 100. Go towards the third base, mate. Do not go to the natural. I love burrowing the Wither Mines here. That's actually kind of cool. Can we retarget? No, we cannot. What can he get done at the third? Not enough. Clicking on no, don't fight this. There's a Colossus in the mix, mate. Don't fight a Colossus. You don't have the army to fight a Colossus. Nicoract is such a warrior. He always goes down swinging. Oh, we have a little drop. The drop in the main base from the early game has shown up. That's going to force Gerald to hit us with a recall. That is a couple of additional workers and a Stalker going down. I wasn't a fan of anything so far up to that drop. I kind of forgot about this medevac, guys. I was chilling in the bottom left. It is gonna make it home. Welcome back, soldier. Tell us about it. You guys have no idea. There are Stalkers are out there. They're hunting me down all the way to the top right side of Hellscape. That's why they call it Hellscape. Gerald shows up, is going to lose that Stalker. Gerald does not have a big enough army to attack Nicoract right now. Oh, the Colossus! Oh my god, he's pulling a Roddy! I did it with 7 Colossus, he does it with 1. Guys, Nicoract? Is this happening? Now this be an upset, no? This would be a proper upset. It's safe to say that we were wrong earlier tonight about the Nick H versus Wing End series, but Gerald in trouble, has lost a couple workers, doesn't have great upgrades. Nicoract sizes up this army and says, I want a piece of that. No, there are a decent amount of gateway units and 2 Colossus in the mix. Widow Mines are doing a very good job in keeping the Protoss army away. Gerald, I think, holds. Gerald holds, keeps it together for now. I think I beat Gerald once. If you guys take a look at Legalect, I think you can Google RotterdaM Gerald. I think I beat him once. And I was pretty happy, right? I was like, oh my god, I beat Gerald, such a good player. And I thought that Gerald would obviously would be a little bit annoyed, but I thought he would take it well. And then I think his first tweet after he lost to me was like, I should really retire. I'm playing worse than I've ever done before. And I was like, wow. I know losing to me is rough and all, but I don't know if that necessarily means that we gotta retire and uninstall the game. I was like, come on, mate. At that point, I was already slightly older, not as old as I am now. I was like, I'm not that bad. Gerald saw this as a historic low. Rock bottom has been achieved. He's like, I'm done. It's good to see that 4 or 5 years later, he's still here. And motivated as ever. Yeah, I beat him. I beat the Rebellion very recently, a couple days ago. I don't think that's... I mean, that's obviously impressive if you think that I'm very bad. I'm not that bad, mate. That hardly makes it into my top 5 victories in the last year. Another uninstaller from Roddy. Yeah. I don't know. Losing against the old man does hit different, apparently. Best player you ever beat? I think in an official series, it's probably the 2-0 over Neep. When Neep was literally considered to be the best or second best Protoss on the planet. I think beating him 2-0 in an official DreamHack qualifier is pretty sick, no? But we've had a few more good ones out there. I beat TLO once in a competitive environment when he was one of the better players in Europe. We've had plenty of good victories. Mostly on the ladder, of course, but also sometimes in tournaments. Ah! Gerald with a good blink there, snipes one of the medevacs. Yeah. I didn't beat Max Packs, I took a map. That's not the same. Winning and taking a map is not the same. Like, I did beat Gerald in the series, I beat Neep in the series, that was big. These storms are even bigger than any of the victories I've ever had in my life. And a game where I felt that Gerald was in serious trouble, as he absolutely was. I mean, if we drop storms of that size and we can storm apparently 4 days, it doesn't really matter in how much trouble we were. The Polish Protoss Gerald turns this game around. Oh, Nico. Nico has to stop collecting storms like he's Ash Ketchum in his prime. And he wants to have all 151 Pokemon. And he's like, the only one I'm missing is Storm. And he's like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Give me your storms after midnight. No. Nico, that is not how we're gonna beat Gerald today, mate. Such an impressive start, such a great early mid game. That was a bit of a throw. Obviously, taking a map, you could say, is really cool and it means something, but that's not the same as winning a series. Winning a map is not gonna make you the champ. Couple EMPs land on the Stalker, Zealots and Archons. Another storm out of the War Prism in the heart of the Terran army. And just like that, it is our Polish Protoss Gerald who turns things around. Oh, Nico. The game was looking so... Guys, at this point, our Terran is literally up 30 supply. 30 supply up. Also sniped a Forge. Only 1-0 for the Protoss. Not the prettiest engagement here as the Colossus gets some really good shots up on the Marines. Storm, 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 storm. And then Nico's like, alright, if that's it, I can deal with the reinforcements. No. Storm. A 30 supply lead gone just like that. Kelsey followed me. Oh, I look forward to that one. Guys, what do you think are the odds of Kelsey following the channel to say, man, that is an impressive comeback by Gerald. He played that incredibly well. Are we thinking 1 out of 15? 1 out of 50? 1 out of 100? I have the feeling that Kelsey's got different feelings about that game other than impressive comeback. 1 out of 5,000 to 1. Oh, Kelsey, give us your thoughts, mate. Why did you even unfollow me? Is that because I landed a Nova in your army once? I don't hate you. What do you mean? Why would I ever hate you? I just think it's really funny that you, as an advocate, let's just say, Terran enthusiast, would follow the channel, even though you've been around forever. I don't know why you unfollowed, but follow the channel after a game like that. You gotta admit, that's a little bit funny. I don't know if it's as funny as my clip versus you, but it's pretty funny. Do I have the Kelsey clip? Look at it. Hey, it's Kelsey. That's even funnier, to be honest. But Kelsey following after that game is also very funny. Alright. Game 4, guys. The main event. Honestly, it should be 2-1 in favor of Nicoract, if you ask me. Instead, it's 2-1 for the favorite.
Round 4. Fight!
Bottom left side of ley lines. We are looking at the main base of our Polish Protoss. Took some severe damage in the early game, but turned things around with some never-ending storms. Energy recharge, am I right? This is Gerald. Can I follow again? Nah, Kelsey is cool. Kelsey can take some banter. He's a nice guy. I've never said anything bad about Kelsey. Even though he loves games without GG. I'm a lover, guys, not a fighter. Top right side of Leyland's down 1-2, and I'm a little bit sad about it because I'm kind of rooting for him. I know he's the underdog. You guys have overwhelmingly voted in favor of Gerald. I'm sure the odds were in favor of Gerald as well. He's had a couple of good moments, but we have to stop collecting the storms the way we have. This is Nicoract. It's because, guys, in case you guys are wondering, I have a folder on my desktop. This is not rocket science. I used to always listen to music, and then at one point the rules changed on Twitch. And it said you had to delete all your old VODs and all your old clips with music that you didn't have the rights to. A couple of the clips I was really fond of that had a lot of views. Some of them had 20, 30, 40,000 views on the Twitch channel. So I downloaded all of them and I have them in a folder, and I have a shortcut to that folder. And yeah, that Kelsey clip was very popular, so I downloaded it, and that's why it's there. Why did you say Wingend versus Nikic earlier? I don't think I did. But yeah, if I did say that, then obviously it was a mistake. I also called Gerald for Jimmy. 5 hours, 52 minutes, guys. A lot of yapping. Little to no food, then suddenly a burger. Like a... I'm gonna say some things wrong. Also, overall, maybe a little bit distracted, but... Obviously, Wingend has not played against Nikic today. Maybe on the ladder, maybe Wingend tried to get him ready, you know. Just a couple 6k MMR bros helping each other out, but no, it was a special versus Nikic. And this is the last match of the night, Shiloh. If Nicoract wins game 4, we'll do another game. If Gerald wins game 4, it's all over. Gerald will win the $150 for this invitational best of 5. Nicoract will still get 50. I do love a triple Reaper Hellion opening. Sniping that adept is cool. Does Gerald wall off? Or do we just fight? Because we've got double Stalker and a battery. Maybe the Reapers can just hop into the man. There's a shield battery there too. He's gonna try to drive by, but he's gonna be so sad when he sees there is a shield battery in the main. Oh, Nico. I mean, I understand that he's taking some chances here, guys. Obviously, TVP is a very difficult matchup right now. Nice wall off there by Gerald, but I mean, I guess it's a very cool play. Protoss, guys. Nice wall off, traps the Reaper. Gerald with a close to perfect defense other than a bit of lost mining time. I understand that if you're a Terran, you feel like you need to be a little bit wild and crazy. You need to think outside of the box. I would have loved to see him just click on some probes here rather than pray and get lucky that there is no battery in the main. To be fair, I would say 8 if not 9 out of 10 times high level Protoss players don't have a shield battery in the main base like this. This I would call a ruddy defense, where you're just lazy and you don't want to micro your workers, so you just build batteries. Unfortunately for Nicoract, Gerald did have double battery, one in the main, one in the natural. That made it very hard for his opening to get anything done. How long is the stream going for tonight? If you mean how long I've been live, 5 hours 55 minutes. How much longer will it go on for? That depends on our video gamers, mate. If Nicoract wins, we get another game, and I really do hope that we get one more game, because we had a 3-1, 3-1, and a 3-0 tonight. Love to see a 3-2. If Gerald wins, it's all over. Then I'll probably give you guys a couple seconds to, I don't know, have your final words in, ask me a question or two, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, Gerald has looked good. I mean, Gerald is one of these guys that can just look so freaking good against anybody that maybe is slightly below his level, because he plays a very strong defensive style in general. So if you go up against guys that are better than you, they can completely overrun you because you have a lack of units, and suddenly it looks like you can't get anything done. But if he goes up against Terran players that he's dead even with, or are even considered to be a little bit lower than him, he can look incredibly solid. I don't know if you're serious or not, Nerve, Yordles. I have to click on your profile because I feel like you're trolling me. Storm is very powerful, but there is counterplay. The biggest deal is obviously not to have your entire army clumped up. Ghosts are very good. Like a combination of EMPs and scans are amazing. Liberators and tanks are very good in keeping High Templars away. 100% low. I started the game 3 days ago. Alright, if you're that serious, mate, a lot of things in Starcraft can be incredibly good against something else, depending on the situation. And yes, Storm is incredibly good against a bunch of bio standing in a spot, not moving. The counterplay against it is making sure that you don't have that many units clumped up, know where the High Templars are, keep them away from your army, drop an EMP, snipe the War Prism with Vikings. It's kind of felt that Nicoract felt that he was so far ahead that the last game couldn't really go wrong anymore. And he was in a good spot, but he definitely wasn't there yet. He's got 3 tanks, 4 Marauders, 60 Marines, no medevacs. Zealot charge is 5 seconds away from finishing up. The fact that it's not done yet is quite big. Can the Marines and Marauders kill the Zealots? The tank shots on the Stalkers and Colossus were quite good, but there is a shield battery. There is always a shield battery. And that means that Gerald will hold, blinks forward, loses only a single Stalker for that final blink. That Marauder really wanted that Stalker, couldn't even get that one either. Banshee gets picked off to make matters go even worse. I'm very worried for Nicoract. It just kind of seems that tonight is not his night. Nico can beat Gerald, but he needs to be at his absolute best. He needs to bring his A+ game, and then hope that Gerald does not have his best day. It turns out Gerald's having a pretty good day. Nicoract is making a few more errors, honestly, than I normally see out of him in TVP. I really do rate Nicoract his TVP. I think he's excellent in the matchup. He's been very fun to watch for a long time. Tonight is not his best night. Could be a little bit of pressure that he's playing in the main event for the first time. There is more money on the line. I think maybe in his mind it's also like, if I win this, I'll get invited to the main event more often. So it has implications in the future. I wouldn't be that harsh. Everybody's allowed to have a good series, a bad series. I don't really care too much. Matters more what you do in all the other events. And Nicoract very often looks incredibly good in World Cups, Monday night weeklies. I don't know, Pegasaurus perhaps once in a blue moon, or any other invitationals. Even if Nicoract didn't kill a single unit in these 3 games, I would still invite him in the future. You think he clutches here? Honestly, it'd be in ridiculous comeback. Every good Terran comeback does start with a Colossus snipe, but it's so damn hard to snipe a Colossus if there are freaking shield batteries everywhere you look. A couple Widow Mine connections are good. Supply blocking Gerald, perhaps. All of this supply is stuck. And look at Gerald, says, you know what, F it. I'm sitting on some money anyway. I'm supply blocked, I can spend my money. Insta Stargate to build a Phoenix or a Void Ray, whatever. I'd just go with a Phoenix to kill these 2 medevacs that are stuck between the 3rd, 4th, and main. Any recalls out there, guys, for the Terran players? I mean, Nico is macroing. He's adding a 2nd starport. We have a Ghost Academy. He's got 1-1 upgrades. He's got all the upgrades he should have. And this game just looks a lot worse than Hellscape. And if we can't win Hellscape, I am worried. But hey. On Hellscape, we got stormed into oblivion. That is not a thing to worry about yet. Nico's... Ever since Uthermal said Nicoract is gonna clutch a game like this. Wait, I think Mark was memeing a little. He's doing a lot of things right. He's been able to find a couple of little victories. Gerald is making a Void Ray so he can kill these 2 medevacs. I would have preferred a Phoenix. Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of supply, right? You're looking at 20 Terran supply that you can kill for free. EMP lands on the Colossus. Where are those High Templars? There are 4 of them. I don't quite see them yet. 1 Colossus died. Uturbo with the call of the century. 1 time and 1 time only. Void Ray is out, but the units have unloaded. Feedback lands. Nicoract, does he clutch it? Honestly, I've seen a lot of great takes on this channel over the years. But Uthermal predicting Nicoract while being down 16 workers and 20 supply to win after he just lost a game where he was up 40 supply. It'd be pretty good. Now Storm is out though, and this is obviously where it gets harder. But we went from 4 Colossus to 1. And that Void Ray still hasn't killed this drop. Shield Battery is going to probably heal up the pile. And no, this time it's Gerald who's missing a couple of opportunities. Nicoract stimmed forward. Do we get a game 5 after all? 1 time Stipe died, Templar 2. The Storm does not connect. Nico! Uthermal's finest call in Starcraft 2 history. 2 Marauders. 1 Marauder left. Wins the fight. Couple of Stalkers not good enough. Colossus dies too. What is happening? The absolute scenes. Uthermal's a powerful man. Never pissed Mark off. That was a ridiculous call. And Nico is still not 100% there, but it's looking really, really, really good. Are we getting a game 5? Go, 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 mate. Go. Don't let him stabilize. Don't let him recover. Definitely don't let him have this base. This base is illegal. This base is illegal. Find him RotterdaM. Oh, Gerald, mate. Well, game 3 was, I think, a bit of a throw on the side of Nicoract. Game 4, I'd almost say Omega throw on the side of Gerald. That is a really good Storm, though. Oh my goodness, and another one. Well, and another one. DJ Khaled, where you at? Aika, Ramba, Nicoract gets stormed into oblivion. To even things up once more in this game. 2-2 upgrades for the Terran, 2-2 upgrades for the Protoss. 17 Stalkers, though, not a great army. Gerald cannot be too aggressive with only 17 Stalkers. He's gonna need a little more. One Colossus comes in, but one Colossus normally not ideal against Marauders and Ghost and Medevacs. Reverse throw. A single High Templar on the 6 o'clock position of this Nexus. On the south side of this Nexus. Storm, and then the one flanking High Templar from the high ground and another Storm. Well, to my new viewer out there, mate, apparently there's just no counterplate Storm. There are very wise words that a lot of RTS fans live by, and that is, don't let them get there. It is not imbalanced, you just don't let them get there. And Nico can... Jeez, Gerald has 96 probes, by the way. Seems a little much, no? Casual 96 probes. 16 out of 14, 16 out of 16, 19 out of 16. Doesn't even have crazy oversaturation. Double Robo, double Forge. Libs would be fantastic, especially if we can ever get up to +2, but Nicoract obviously knows what his dream army looks like. The real question is, can he safely get there without dying? He needs to find that fine line between having an army that's good enough to survive, ideally having a few units that he can throw away, find some damage with, and then slowly but steady transition into the dream mix of Marines, Marauders, Liberators, etc. Nico is, I would say in general, actually a big dropper and loves to multitask. Not just like a single drop and one main fight, but I've seen him do his thing. He's also quite confident, I guess, in just having a maxed out army fight. He's got a lot of supply. Gerald with 101 workers. Gerald's got 99 army supply, and that is it. If I was Nicoract, I would never kill a probe. This is a handicap at this point. It's a liability. Gerald with 101 workers. Maybe he's a big fan of that Disney movie. Dalmatians, whatever they're called. Dalmatians in Dutch. There's 101 of them. EMP lens. Storm from the bottom. Gerald's doing a really good job with his High Templars that just keep on sneaking up to this Terran army. One more full HP, full energy High Templar going forward. Drops the Storm. Nicoract does dodge this one. What a silly army this is. 5 Colossus, 12 Zealots, 101 probes. You'd almost think that Nicoract should be able to win a fight against this army. This could turn into one of these games where Gerald's gonna have a monstrous bank, but then he loses a fight so decisively that he does not have enough time to rebuild, and then he's gonna be forced to tap out with like 4k. +2 ship weapons on the way for Nico. Incredibly important upgrade. If we land an EMP and our Liberators have +2, we one-shot Stalkers. And one-shotting Stalkers against a man with 102 probes. It just keeps going up. I would say, what is this? The stock market? But that hasn't really gone up lately, has it? We have been bleeding, guys, in the streets. Why is Gerald making so many pylons, by the way? I understand a couple pylons, but bro's got pylons for days. 23 of them. 7 Nexi and 23 pylons. He's got 4 more. Like, isn't that crazy? Those land a couple Novas. Nicoract size up the army. High Templar on the top left side, guys. Keep an eye on the High Templar. Looking for a storm. Guess EMP. Nicoract keeps an army on it. Okay, he does need a couple big storms, but if I was Nico, I'd just freaking send it. Go, go, go. Never look back. What is he gonna do? Storm? You're built different, mate. How many gavers does Gerald have? 13. That's not even that many. So that's now 106 army supply against 24, guys. Gerald's probably like, man, Terran's so busted. Like, well, he also started the fight with 136 army supply. You started it with 98. And not all of it was there. Why is he going back home? A little bit scared. Scared about another storm landing on his medevacs, on his Vikings. He doesn't know what we know. He doesn't have the same information. He just wants to at least repair a lot of these expensive mechanical units, and then he will probably go again. I do agree, by the way, with the more gateways for Gerald. If we got 102 probes, we don't need 13 gates. We need 33 gateways. Okay, 25 is fine too, but more than 13 at least. Nicoract is back. He has repaired his medevacs. He has repaired his Vikings. Liberators have advanced ballistics +2. We are dropping. That is a warp in of 13 gateways. A couple of zealots die immediately. I think Gerald is just going to lose this game, man. Probes are great, guys, but 102 is pushing it a little bit. Nicoract is now doing Gerald a massive favor by killing a couple of workers. Gerald's like, oh no, he's killing probes. I need more. No, you don't. Stop building probes. Vikings getting a lot of big shots off on that Colossus. Liberators circles 4 days. Nicoract has truly turned this one around. He looked dead. He got a magical comeback. Then he looked like he was in trouble again. But he is now showing us that when it comes to late game PvP, no one collects a storm like Nicoract and still power through. Because it doesn't matter how hard you can hit, guys. It matters how hard you can get hit and still get up. Keep going. Spread some more circles. Liberate a Protoss main. Natural. Third. Fourth. Free these 73 workers that are left on the side of Gerald. 7 DTs. But we've got EMPs. We've got scans. Did lose all the Liberators, by the way. Oh, now I'm worried. Oh my god, the DT meat grinder. The Storms. Ay caramba. The Vikings do kill that final Colossus, but Nicoract gets honestly erased. Leaving all the Liberators behind. Gerald swung around them, started picking them up one by one. Nico throws down a scan in the top left. Gerald's like, man, I need probes and I need them bad. I used to have so many, now I've got little. He's not Jenny from the block. He's Gerald from Streamer Zone. Game is even. I like it for Nicoract. I really like it for Nicoract. As long as we just rebuild a couple of those Liberators, don't leave them behind this time. Yeah, it's so many. DTs are scary, and they do have a Shadow Stride. Gerald's gonna get a few more Robos. Apparently he lost all of them. Nico sizes up that army. DTs, blink forward, repair, it's too late, it's too late. Too late to apologize and way too late to repair this planetary. The DTs live, that is painful. Good news is for Nico that he still has income, he can still max out and he can just rebuild this. How many gateways do we have now? 12, mate, not 25. 12 gateways really isn't that crazy. It's playable for both. I would agree with that for sure. But I still like it more for Nicoract. Steadfast with the raid. Thank you, matey. Oh. Hello? I like it for Nicoract. I do not like it if we do this. Apparently we had a little fight as well on the top left side. That's nice and all, but we cannot just not pay attention to every armies. We can definitely EMP the ever-living crap out of a couple Archons and Stalkers. Gerald blinks forward, tries to gun down all the Liberators, and honestly does a pretty damn good job with it. And Gerald now looking quite fine as he fires a Nova from the high ground and they get a picture-perfect connection. Well, you now tell me that you like it for Gerald. I am not necessarily disagreeing. Oh, Nico, what is this game, guys? The gamers have truly saved the best for last. Perhaps. Oh, that's a crazy forward blink. Apparently Gerald thinks Nicoract has no army, and perhaps he is right as he kills the planetary. He kills that Liberator too. Protoss cannot be stopped, shall not be stopped, won't be stopped. Is it still Gerald then? Oh my goodness, it is still Gerald. What a game. What an absolute clown fiesta of a final game of the night. But it is a Streamer Zone Gerald who gets the 3-1 victory over Nicoract. Well, we thought he was going to win this game. Then it really didn't look like he was going to win. Then it did. Then it didn't. And in the end, he got it done. A very, very fun final game of the night. And that will do it, guys, for Basilisk Big Brain Bouts number 19. Let's go ahead and settle this prediction. Oh, well. That was fun. The last one was fun. I had a good time with it. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Congrats to the 4 winners tonight. We'll go over the results quickly. 79% of you guys believed in Gerald. And Gerald delivered. He made some of you even richer than you already are when it comes to those Phoenix mouse. Thanks for another great BBV. I appreciate it, but always make sure to thank my org, guys. Without Basilisk, I could not do this. I do not have $500 that I can give away every single Friday to video gamers out there. Exclamation mark Basilisk in the chat. You guys can give them some love on Twitter. They have a Blue Sky too, in case you hate Twitter. I know a lot of you guys do. So you can use Blue Sky. If you don't use any of that, maybe YouTube. Cheeky follow, cheeky sub. It never hurts. Or you can join a Discord if you don't mind doing that. There are many different ways to show some love and appreciation to my team. Without them, I couldn't do it. I could probably do something on the Friday night, but it'd be like 10 times smaller. So this really helps me. That was a lot of yapping. I will take a very, very tiny break. I'll drink some water. I still have some water, actually, don't I? I do. But I still want to take a very tiny break. Then I'll come back. If you guys have anything you want to ask me, anything you want to share, feel free to do that. And if not, we'll wrap it up. I'll send you guys elsewhere. And I'll probably be back tomorrow with a bit of variety gaming. Some Starcraft, some F1, some Macabellum, some Deadlock. And then Sunday morning, we'll do the real F1. That water looks especially like vodka. That'd be pretty badass. That'd be pretty hardcore, I would say. I wouldn't quite call it badass. I think this amount of vodka would be stupid, not badass. Just stupid. It'd be very hardcore. I mean, if it was vodka, could I do this? No. Look. Whew. No, it's just water, mate. If I had vodka, I would tell you that it's vodka. I would not fill a glass up with this amount of vodka. If I would do this, you guys wouldn't see me in 48 hours. I'll tell you that much. No, just water. I had some whiskey. But when I have whiskey, it's in a tiny glass. I don't have... Guys, I'm 37. If I want to have a drink, I can have a drink. I don't have to hide what I do, who I am. It's not a crime. I know some of you guys don't like drinking. Also fine. I do like drinking. In moderation, nothing crazy. I'm not going to sit here ultra drunk. But I like having a couple drinks. I don't have to hide the fact that I enjoy a whiskey or a glass of wine. Or a vodka, but I'm not a big vodka guy. Anyway, give me a very tiny break. I'll be right back. And then we'll wrap it up. Much love. Hope you guys enjoyed the Big Brain Bouts. Next week, guys, we have a very special edition of the Big Brain Bouts planned. I could technically reveal it. Why not? Yeah, let's just do it. So there is a community within Starcraft 2 that's called All Things Protoss. It is not exclusive to Protoss players. It is open to anybody who loves Starcraft, who loves talking about stuff. It started off as a Protoss fan club, but eventually it just became bigger, and all the Zergs are welcome, all the Terrans are welcome. They are about to have another league, and to celebrate their full season of All Things Protoss, where they have a fun season with captains who select players. It's just all community driven, but it's really fun. To celebrate them having another season starting up soon, we're going to have the next Big Brain Bouts fully in theme of All Things Protoss. That doesn't include everybody plays Protoss, or doesn't mean. It will still be a couple Terrans, a couple Zergs, some low MMR, some high MMR. It will maybe look like a regular Big Brain Bouts, but just know that it's special because they're all related to the All Things Protoss community that I think started off on Reddit, but is probably more active on Discord these days. You guys can obviously Google that all you want. That will happen next Friday. Anyway, tiny break. I'll see you guys real soon.